Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 19th, 2020. Welcome aboard. Thanks again for joining me. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. We do this every single morning at 9 a.m., talking markets and answering your questions. So, of course, I spelled Mnuchin wrong on the description for YouTube. So let me go and fix that first before people think, who the hell is Mnuchin? It's Mnuchin. Good morning, G's up. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All right, let's kind of go over what we got to go over in the markets. Dow futures are down 10. Nasdaq futures are up about 8. S&P futures down about 5. And excuse me, E-mini Russell 2000 futures are down about 0.5%. Probably the laggard here at 1326. VIX uh, up actually down about 0.72. There you go. Light sweet crude futures. June contracts expire today. That they are up about 2%. Bitcoin down about 1%. Gold just got a nice little bounce here, 0.21%, about quarter of a percent. Silver up about 0.33. Bonds relatively flat. Dollar yen, which is a good view of risk on sentiment, is up about 62 pips, 0.59%. The dollar is down about almost a quarter percent, and gasoline futures of about 2%. Let's go over some of the headlines that came up today. We did push overnight. Just a heads up. I send this out to our GAR news channel on Discord to our members. We pushed up overnight. We actually tapped 29.76 on E-mini futures. But again, there was some news on the Nasdaq restricting Chinese IPO. Just a heads up, I think my headset just disconnected on me. So bear with me a second. Uh, Also, Walmart did beat. I'll go and get you those numbers here. Home Depot beat, but missed on EPS, but beat on sales. Spent a little more on bonuses and employee compensation with double time and overtime. E-mini futures are still above that fib line of 61.8 on the daily. So if you want to go ahead, I'll expand it for you guys. You guys can take a look here. Let me see if I can get this expanded. This is E-mini futures on your Fibonacci lines. We're still above the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement line. Above that, the Mendoza line is what we call the 50% Fibonacci level of 27.85. So we're in the upper range on the daily to the upside. So that's still good news for E-mini futures and the bulls. SPY's above the 61.8 as well, which is right here, 292.50. 10 a.m., Powell Mnuchin testified in front of the Senate Banking Committee. I'll be watching that at 10 a.m. with my team. We all know basically where Powell stands. He talked about it on 60 Minutes. He says, you know what, we'll print forever or press a button. He doesn't really mind about the national debt and deficit moving forward until as things are still kind of weak. Obviously, still relatively weak due to coronavirus. And that's where we are too. Also, keep in mind, Powell will speak on Thursday at an event virtually at 2:30 p.m. And we also got some news that Disney streaming chief Mayer will become the CEO of TikTok, the app. They were down about 1.31%. And some good news on the bullish front. German zoo economic sentiment, ZEW economic sentiment beat a number of 51 versus 31 expected. Shows that Germans are optimistic for the future. So that's some pretty good stuff. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers together, and then we'll answer some questions. Pre-market movers here. Advanced Auto Parts is up. Lowe's, not Lowe's, the Lowe's Hotel, not Lowe's, the hardware store, is up. Carvana is down. Moderna just had a stock offering at yesterday's close, so they are down 6.5%. That's the big loser there for today. Remember, they were up about 30% yesterday. Delta Air up about 1.42%. Carnival's debt was rated to junk by Moody's. Walmart is up 4% on strong earnings. American Airlines slightly green. United Air is green as well. Norwegian is down about 0.47% in lieu of Carnival. Southwest up about 3.88%. Boeing is pretty much flat. Macy's flat to the downside. Home Depot only down about 1%. Actually, now about 2% pre-market. Actually, you know what? We just got, let me see here if I can get this updated number on Home Depot. Down about 1.4%. Just got it. Kohl's up about, actually, Kohl's should be down. This is not updated. Let me get this updated number. Remember, this is delayed about 15 minutes. So let's see here. I thought I had Kohl's here. Well, I'll give you the Kohl's number too. Get this going. I have CNBC up on my other screen, and Kohl's, which is symbol KSS, is down about 0.4%. So that's where we are. Let's go and answer some questions. All right, so good morning. Dividend Appeal asks, looking for Netflix to make a squeeze to 465 in a day or two. Let's go and take a look at Netflix. Netflix has been very range bound. The one level I'm looking for to break before we do anything is 456.85. That's your level you want to break. Calls for airlines yet? Not yet. I only own one, which is Delta Airlines, and I have a very small position on it, but nothing yet. Thoughts on investing in PM? Are you talking about Philip Morris, which is tobacco? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the daily before I look at anything. On the daily chart, you could see below the 100, below the 200, below the 50. You did break support here. I'm not a fan of it, but do they pay dividend? Yes. If you want a dividend, I think there's better options out there. I wouldn't be into Philip Morris. Why did Moderna have a stock offering if they're up so much? Retired Knicks fan asked. That's a really good question. It's a very good question. That really makes it very curious. That if the stock is so high, why would you want to do a stock offering now? So maybe they're not as confident in their vaccine phase 3 trials. Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to cash in as much as they can. Thoughts on Travel Centers of America, TA, less flying, more driving. Oh, I've never heard of that name. Let's see, TA. I'm looking at it here. Travel Centers of America, let's maximize the sell. I don't see anything on the chart that would say to buy here. Maybe if you break 1234 on the 200 day on the daily, you could probably take a look at it, but I'd have to do my research on it. Thoughts on NVIDIA? Very bullish. I own it. Very happy that they got upgraded. And I'm sticking to that name. I mean, I wish I can get a little bit of a pullback, but this thing is to the moon. I mean, look at that. Just pure, almost parabolic. Great, great chart. If you own NVIDIA, great. I would add it on a pullback, maybe to around 320 if you can get 320. If we get that pullback, 320 would be my maybe my addition there. 315, 320, I'm adding. Goes below 300, I'm adding with both hands. I love NVIDIA. I own it in ESPO, which is my esports ETF. I bought some, and NVIDIA, the stock itself. So I do love me some NVIDIA. Absolutely. So keep in mind, guys, today when we're looking at the markets, you definitely want to take a look at ES. Want to take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is pulling ahead of ES today. But keep in mind, it's all about Powell today. Powell is all about Powell today. Powell Mnuchin will be speaking in front of the Senate Banking Committee. You want to keep your eyes on that. Let's see what he says. The market does react to Powell speaking. As you know, that's what happened in 60 Minutes. Thoughts on GILD? I don't own any GILD, but I do own some IBB. So that's the biggest part of IBB. Looking at Gilead here, remdesivir is the big drug that they have. Let's take a look at it on a daily. Pretty much a lot of volatility. This is a lot of volatility, guys. But remember, you've been seeing a range of 85 to around 70-ish. Um, if you want, I'd rather you not buy Gilead. I'd rather you just buy IBB, which has the basket of all the biotech stocks that are in the market for the vaccine. I'd rather you not pick one horse, get all the horses. Thanks, Carlos. Good luck today. Thanks, Dividend. Does Walmart might have more fuel to keep going up? Walmart looks very good. I own also Walmart as well. Let's take a look at it. Walmart on the daily chart, you could see we did fill this gap here about 127.91. The break you want to find here is that recent high of 128.58. I think we're there already on the hourly, so that we broke that. So we broke that. Now the fib line is 133.48. I think that's all-time highs. I really hate to chase all-time highs on Walmart. If you have calls, ring the register and just get out of it. But I mean, it's great. But when it hits all-time highs, it gets a little scary to me. Um, Maybe if you get a little bit of a pullback, you can add more. But for right now, you should be happy where you are. Thoughts on Uber? Let's take a look at Uber together. And I do own this stock as well. Take a look at it together. Nice little V-shaped recovery. Needs a little more on the daily. I would love to see it break 36 or 35 to 36. Actually, 36 would be that high. I would love to see that break. But again, you can see a nice little trend line to the upside. Still above the moving averages on the hourly. On the daily, it is breaking above the 200 day, which is a really good sign. So again, 36. Keep an eye on 36. I would probably go long here. Maybe target 42. Pixie. I don't know what Pixie is. Pixie, Shift Pixie. I don't know much about it, but looking at daily, it looks pretty ugly from 31 to 6. Not exactly something I want to look at, but I guess it moved pre-market. It's up to almost 9, but I don't see any reason to play this at all, to be honest with you. All right, any other questions this morning? All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Keep in mind, Powell and Mnuchin, 10 a.m. on CNBC or C-SPAN or any of the news channels, whichever you prefer. Uh, keep an eye on the futures, keep an eye on the Dow, keep an eye on the S&P. It's all about that this morning. Got to keep an eye on what he says. Also, if you're looking to trade what Powell's saying, keep an eye on the banks. The banks do move because if they keep lowering interest rates, it's going to be very bad for the banks because they'll squeeze out their margins. So again, a big move, for example, like a Wells Fargo that soared 10% yesterday. Be very careful. That could be ripe for a put or ripe for a short if you're looking to short it or sell it and ring the register on Wells Fargo. Just give you a heads up. That's one name I'll be looking at, especially with Powell speaking. We'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys on Wednesday for our morning out. Cheers, guys.